talk about worrying. The clouds are full of rain. Amen? They empty themselves on the earth. If a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where the tree falls, there it will lie. He who observes the wind will not sow. He who regards the clouds will not reap. So what he's saying here is he says, there are things that are out of our control. Don't worry about them. We get so worried about the trees next to our homes and whether they will fall during the next storm. Any of you looking at them? Oh, you had them cut down already. But that one that you left standing fell in the last storm. And that's what he's trying to say. You've got to be kidding. You can worry and worry and worry and worry about these things. When the tree decides to fall, it's going to fall. Whether it falls that way or falls that way or falls that way, you don't know. You think you know because you see the way in which it leans. But depending on what the wind does that day, you don't know and you can't predict it. He talks about sowing seed. Anyone work in the yard yesterday? I was thinking about all the stores selling all that grass seed. I mean, do I go out there and I just plant a little bit of seed and hope that it'll grow, or dump the whole bag on it? Then you worry, are the birds all going to come and eat it? And when he talks here, he says, listen, you want to control this. So I go and buy a bale of hay. I was sitting there looking at the grass I planted at the end of the year last year. In order to protect the seed, I bought a bale of hay to put over the seed. Anyone do that? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I did? I put so much hay that the seed couldn't come up through the hay. Right? Or is it straw? I don't know. I'm not a farmer. You're not either, are you? I didn't think so. But I know this much. I was worried that some bird was going to steal my seed, so I protected that seed so much that nothing's growing there. Solomon said, start sowing that seed. If you think you can control anything in your life, it's an illusion. Some of us control freaks in here. Any of you? Anyone at all got control over everything? I see those hands. You got control over everything. And we begin to realize, you know what, now, you can't control where that tree is going to fall. Solomon says here, here's what I want you to do. You're missing a lot of stuff. You're missing opportunities because you're so worried about your control in your life. He says, listen, live your life. You can't control which direction the trees are going to fall. You can't control where the wind is going to blow. And any control you perceive that you have over your present or future circumstances is a mere illusion. If you're waiting in this life right now for everything to line up, stop it. There are a lot of you who are locked down. You know what your next step is supposed to be, but you have created a set of rules that when this happens, then I'll do this. When I get to this age, when I make this much money, when I pass this test, when I get to this level in the corporation, and as a result, you're sitting here, you're held back. Solomon says, we only have a few years to live here in this life. And you know what? Trees are going to fall, wind is going to blow, rain is going to come down. Forget worrying about it. Cut loose. Live your life. Enjoy it. Verse 5. Verse 5, I'm just pumped about. Listen to this. Maybe I'm pumped about all of it. I'm sorry, I study this all week long, so by the time I get here on Sunday, I'm all wound up. Listen, verse 5, as you do not know the way the Spirit comes to the bones in the womb of a woman with a child, so you do not know the work of God who makes everything. So a lot of us are sitting back trying to understand what God's doing. We don't understand what happened in our job last week. We don't understand why that's happening with our kids, why our kid was born like that. We don't understand why things are happening in the world the way they are. We're all wrapped up and tangled up and frozen in our ways because we can't understand things in life. We're trying to make sense of them. Here he describes a child in the womb. He speaks of the birth of a child and the life coming into a womb. And you step back and you say, even with all the information that we have in our day, there are things that we just don't fully get. We can't reproduce them. We have lots of information that we can Google it, we can study it, we have the books, we have people, we have resources, we can ask lots of questions. And at the end of the day, there are things that we come back and we step back and we go, I don't know. And here is the final answer that he wants us to know. God knows. God's got it. God understands. Give it over to God and be okay that God knows that God's got it.